You've got Wulf, and I'm back with another CD review. Today, we are looking at Life's a Trip from Trippie Red. I didn't really know this existed for a while, and then it just kind of, I just saw some of the songs pop up on YouTube, and I was like, oh, there's an album from Trippie Red. When did this come out? And then I went to the mall, and I happened to see it for sale on CD, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So, starting with the art, like always, taking a look at the front cover. Sorry if you guys can hear any clanging around in the background. My dog got a surgery, so she has a cone on her head, and she has been bumping into everything with it. Anyway, though, starting out with the cover, there's a lot of stuff going on this cover, and to be honest, it is kind of freaky. I don't really know what to describe this as. The art style reminds me of all the things, the Adult Swim show Tig Tone, because it has this really uncomfortable 3D yet 2D animation style, and that's what these look like they would move in if they were moving. So you've just got all this stuff here. You've got all these things, things really, with faces and eyes and stuff like that, and they all look just kind of not squishy, but made out of clay almost. I don't know, it's really hard to explain what exactly I mean. But I mean, you guys can see this is one of the few albums where I feel like I have not really had words to actually describe what it looks like, because I'm just so kind of confused because there's just so much stuff. It reminds me of a mix between the talking characters from Beauty and the Beast, the talking kitchen instruments, mixed with that painting of all the clocks that are all melting, and like I said, the Tig Tone art style. It looks weird. And then in the background there's some clouds and some sun and stuff, and Trippie Red's face is all over the place in it. There's a bunch of places where you can see his face in particular, but there's also other places where it seems like it's just some face. Anyway, onto the side, we have Trippie Red, Life's a Trip. You can see Life's a Trip pretty clearly, but I'm looking at it right now, and Trippie Red in that yellow kind of looks weird against the white behind it, because it I don't know, they're just both such light colors that it's actually kind of hard to read, but not really a huge deal. I mean, I feel like this is an album that you'll probably pick up knowing you're buying Life's a Trip. Then onto the back, we have the track list, which, as I say in every single CD review, track lists are very, very good thing to have. It's all written in a sort of, not really a cursive, but a fancy print. That's what it is. I always forget. It's you have cursive writing and then you have print writing. It's written in a fancy print, so it's not cursive, but it's slightly cursive. It's easy to read, at least I thought so that's not a bad thing. Sometimes, I've said in other albums, they get kind of taken away with what font they want to use. The people who design the albums, they get taken away with what font they want to use, and then it just makes it hard to read. But this one you can read fine, and it's a cool font, so I think that works out pretty well. I like that it's in different colors, because the front had a lot of different colors going on with all those faces and just objects. But yeah, so that's a pretty nice little track list. You can read it clearly. It's colorful. It's unique looking with the font and everything. Down at the bottom you have the info about the label and stuff. And in the left upper half of it, you just kind of have a sky with a few clouds, and on the bottom lower right you have more of the faces and stuff like that from the front, but in a cloud, almost like a reflection of what you're seeing on the front, in a cloud. So opening up the album, you see some more stuff. You see on the left side we have just more of the faces and stuff from the front of the album, and a hand pointing at that balloon looking thing. Like I said, I don't know really what to say about the art in this album, because it's just kind of you gotta really see it, I guess, to say anything about it. On the right side, you have info about all of who was in all the songs, who produced them, all that stuff. Just the general info about songs. And So that's good because this album doesn't have an insert. So since all that info is there, that's always a good thing because you want to have that info probably depending on what you're using the CD for. That info is good to have. But like there has been plenty of times ever since I've started collecting CDs where like I've needed to look at the inserts and stuff to figure out something that I wouldn't have been able to find out from a download. So anyway, what I'm getting at is it's good that they have all the info there because there's not an insert, and the insert is usually where they tend to put that type of stuff. So it's good that they have it somewhere, even without an insert. And then behind all the writing, there's more of just that stuff from the front. It actually looks like it's kind of a zoom in on that part on the front that says Oomp's Revenge. So it's actually, yeah, it actually is the same exact section as the front, but just zoomed in on that part. Like I said, no insert, so right on to the CD. The CD just has Trippie Redd, Life's a Trip, and kind of a similar thing to the back of the case where it's a sky on the left side, and then on the bottom right you get like a reflection in a cloud almost of some of the stuff. You can't really see it. The CD, I would say the CD is actually kind of almost too calm compared to the rest of the artwork because there isn't really any of the weird faces or anything on it, and I think that it would have fit better maybe if they had put more of that on the CD because there's so much of it already on the actual case. Why not put it on the CD also? But yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything much else to say about the art on here. I feel like this is overall, when I get to the music, you guys will understand more. Overall, this is one of those albums that I feel like just kind of exists. You know, it's not bad. It's not necessarily great. The art is kind of in that area. Like, it's interesting. It'll catch your eye. It does its job, but it's also not necessarily the most amazing album art that I've ever seen. Now, speaking of going on to the music, let's move on to my actual opinions on the music and stuff. Yeah, it's an album. It's some music. I'll give it that. I just listened to this last night, so this is one of those reviews that's actually, like, pretty recent in my mind. Like, I don't know what exactly to say about this one, because there's some songs on here that are really, really good. Like, Bang is probably one of my favorite songs from Trippie Redd, but outside of that, it's just music. I don't know. See, the thing that I kept thinking while I was listening to this album is that Trippie Redd is an impressive artist because he has such an amazing vocal range. He can whisper stuff or he can scream stuff and anything in between, and it always sounds good. He's like very good at controlling and using his voice. But in a way, I feel like he should have, I feel like this album is kind of inconsistent. All of the songs on it are good, none of them are bad, but this is one of those albums that suffers from kind of strange genre shifts. There's some songs on here that are pure rap songs, but then there's other ones that aren't really as rap as other ones. I don't know. It's hard to just describe. I think that the good example of what I'm talking about is with Flower Boy, how the first single they released was Who Dat Boy, which is like pretty, hardcore rap song. Like, it's not hardcore, but it's a clear rap song. But then the rest of the album wasn't always necessarily rap. It took like some R&B twists and turns. And this album does kind of the same thing, where there's some songs that are very clearly rap, and then there's other ones that you're like, I don't really know if this is rap. And it's not like it's a bad song, but when you jump from genre to genre within an album, it can kind of just sound weird if you're not consistent. But I mean, overall, if you're a fan of Trippie Redd, you should check it out. Like, I don't want to say anything bad about this album because it's definitely not one of those Saga Continues kind of thing from the Wu-Tang Clan. That album was not good. This album is good. It's just kind of weird, I guess, is what I'd say about it. In either way, though, I'm pretty sure that all the songs are on streaming services. Actually, I think all of them are on YouTube also, so if you want to take a listen before deciding to buy a physical copy or whatever, then you can easily do that. So, I mean, that's up to you, really. You can form your own opinions on the music pretty easily without actually having to buy it. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. Like I said, I have more CD reviews on the way. Just want to reiterate, I do like this album. It's not a bad album. It's just kind of weird and kind of hard to tell. Kind of hard overall to explain exactly how I feel about it, I guess. But anyway, more CD reviews on the way. I have so many CDs that I need to review, and I just haven't had time to. And I've also got other videos on the way, gaming videos and stuff, so keep your eyes open for those, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.